Hey everybody, how you doing? I am starting to strip out the interior to get the rugs and seats professionally cleaned, just like I did with the Camaro. These are in a lot worse shape. The Camaro just had some mouse pee and poop droppings on it and it stunk a little. This one is a little more vile. Plus it's got 60 years of wear on the rugs. They're overall in really nice shape. I mean, there's a couple of rust marks from shit laying on this thing for years and years and years, and there's a little bit of tearing on this rug. But it's behind the seat, you'll never see it. I don't know what caused that. But I gotta get the gas pedal up and then the rug on this side should come out. What's exciting for me is a friend of mine who's a Corvette guy said that sometimes there's a build sheet under the rug. Everybody talks about tank stickers in Corvettes. Well, I found out that the tank sticker didn't start until 1967. This is a 65, so no tank sticker here. So maybe I'll get lucky and there's a build sheet under the rug. I don't know. We'll find out, but I gotta pull the gas pedal up and then take this rug out and we'll see what I get. Well, I got the rug out of the driver's side and I don't see a build sheet. I looked under this matting here, nothing there. I got the rug over here. There's nothing under it. I didn't go too crazy trying to separate the jute from the rug, but I mean, you can kind of get the general sense that nothing is in there. I mean, I can go a little deeper, but I don't think it's in there. I don't feel anything that feels like paper, but hey, I don't know. Sorry, kids, Santa Claus didn't come this year. There's still hope the other side has it, so I'll explore that in a minute. Nope, no build sheet in this side either. Nothing under the jute, nothing under the rug. So I keep calling it jute. It's underlayment. It's like tar, paper stuff, but jute is that fluffy stuff, but you know what I mean. So I didn't see any build sheet. So, oh well. I'm debating whether to take this thing out and get this clean too. I mean, it's glued on. And it looks like it'll peel off pretty easily. I just don't know where it ends. I mean, I'm not gonna go insane, but it looks like it's just this wall. It's kind of skanky. It needs a good cleaning. That's one right there too. I don't know, where do you stop, I mean, to do the whole back of the car would be nice, but, I don't know. I mean, that panel I should get done. That comes off. That just comes out. These rear wheel well rug pieces, I'm sure they're glued in. I mean, I guess I could just rip them out and glue them back in. I don't know. I don't want to get myself in deeper than I need to get, but this is kind of dirty. You can see it's filthy, so. I mean, I could do it in the car is the option, but I don't know. Let me mull that one over for a bit. But anyway, there you go. It's there's no build sheet that I see, and I got to take the shifter lever out to get the console trim piece out. The stick is too tall and won't climb over it. So that ought to be fun because one of the bowls looks like it's just below the hole in the body. But well, there's a will, there's a way, right? So anyway, this wasn't a very long video. Sorry if I wasted anyone's time, but it's just part of the archaeology of resurrecting this Corvette. I got to pull the steering wheel off to fix the directional lever. It's loose. Hopefully it's just a loose screw. Hopefully the switch isn't broken. It's got a telescopic wheel. So I don't know how involved it is. I watched a video last night of a guy rebuilding a Corvette telescopic column. Supposedly they're similar to this thing. Didn't look too tough, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if you never saw a telescopic column on an old vet, basically you just turn this lever. The center piece here is a lever. Turn it to the left, and the column just pulls out. Look at it. See, kind of cool, huh? And just push it back in. Isn't that kind of neat? Kind of cool. So supposedly you just get this cap off, so you turn it to the left or something, and it comes out. Let's try it now. Yeah, it's not turning. Supposedly you turn it to the left. You push it in, turn it to the left. I don't see it turning, so I gotta see if there's a little snappy thing here. You pop off with a screwdriver. I don't want to break anything, but anyway, thank you for watching. And like I said, it was a shorter video. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't bore anybody, but it's all part of the process. You gotta get apart and see what you got and clean things up and go from there. I did buy a frame. It's out being sandblasted right now. I just talked to the guy. And hopefully I'll pick it up either later today or tomorrow. So when I get that, I'll shoot a video of it, and I'm sure that'll be exciting. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. So I couldn't help myself. I took the steering column apart quickly to get to the root of what was wrong with the loose directional lever, and it was just the screw was loose. So I took it off and I cleaned it up and I blew out everything in here, and luckily nothing's broken, so I'm going to throw it back together again now. So it's not terribly different than a newer steering column like in the Camaro, but one thing I do notice is there's no springs. Usually there's little springs in here. Get my fat hand out of the way, sorry. There's springs in here, so when you turn the steering wheel, you have the directional going, say, left. The steering wheel spins around, and this horn contact piece has a cam on the back that usually contacts the springs and kicks the directional off. This car doesn't have that. It's got these little springy things here, which do the same thing. If you watch, the steering wheel will be on, and you turn the wheel, so I'm going left. So I'm gonna go right, I guess. Watch the turn signal switch. Click, see it? Kicked off. If we go the right turn, when you turn around to the left, it grabs it and click, cancels it. So it's a self-canceling feature. It's still there. It's just weird that they don't have springs. Maybe these plastic things used to break all the time. I can imagine they would, but that was different. I didn't expect to see that. Part of me feels silly for taking this car apart to fix this. It was just bugging me that every time I walked by it was dangling like, a limp noodle. But I gotta pull the column out, paint it. The paint's all peeling off. It was bothering me, and I figured, you know what? It's on my mind. Let's do it. I think we all have our excessive compulsive things, and that's one of mine, I guess. So let me throw this guy back together again, quick as I can. One thing that was giving me trouble was the my puller. You can't pull it like a regular steering wheel. It doesn't have the big holes for bolts like a regular steering wheel. And you got to take the wheel itself off, these screws that hold the wheel on. This is the actual genuine teakwood wheel. Sexy. Anyway, you got to take the wheel off because it covers the arms. See, they're under it, the screw hole arms, if you want to call them that. They won't come out past the wheel. So you got to pull the wheel off in order to get the horn contact out. That's kind of ass backwards. And then when you take this off, there's usually a couple of large bolt holes in here, like a harmonic balancer you can grab with a puller, a real full-size puller. There's none. All it has is the little holes for the steering wheel or these little holes for the horn contact. This one's not even a screw, it's a stud, which is weird. So I had to take my little baby puller, and it has this raised section at the bottom. I had to throw it in the bridge port. I had to take about 1/4 inch off it. So I definitely sacrificed some strength from the raised section that was there, but what am I going to use this thing for? I don't think I've ever used it. I mean, the screw was burred up, so I must have used it somewhere, but I can't think of where. And the other modification I had to make was the end of it was about 1/2 inch longer. I had to chuck it up in a lathe and cut that off too, and then, file it round. So that was a little bit of an ordeal, but I got it. It's just all these stupid things you encounter. So someday I'll take this horn contact out and sandblast it and make sure it's got good contact, but let's throw this guy back together again. One other thing is, if you see me wearing orange gloves and wearing a mask, it's because, this thing had mice in it, and it's gross. I mean, I don't think it's good for your respiratory system to breathe that shit, and I'm using this Clorox multi-surface cleaner with bleach. This shit reeks. It smells just like the stuff I use to clean my bathroom at home. So if it's good enough for a toilet seat, I'm sure it's good enough for my hands to touch the steering wheel and the column and all that crap. But you gotta think ahead and not rot off a layer of skin from mouse dander or whatever. So there you go. All right, you gotta put the turn signal cam plastic piece on, then the spring goes on, then you feed the bowl on. You line up your alignment marks. There's one on the shaft, one here, and there's one on the wheel too by the splines. So you put that all on, and then you can put your steering wheel on. And like I said earlier, something weird about this car is it's got a stud on the bottom that lines up the wheel, so it goes on like that. So let me feed that guy on and go from there. So the wheel is back on. Now I have to remember how this telescopic stuff goes on. Hopefully I didn't forget. I mean, it was pretty simple, but let's see if I can do it. So right now, I wish I had watched that Corvette guy's telescopic column video a little deeper, but it was, past my bedtime last night when I was trying to absorb it. But I'll do my best to remember how this thing goes together. So as I recall it, this weird looking bolt goes in. This thread's in here. And this is what actually locks the column. I had a little trouble getting the bolt in at first, but I got it. It's just a 5/16 18 thread, so I cleaned the threads out with a tap, put some lube in there, and ran a bolt through it to clean it up, and then there we go. So it came out hand tight. I'm going to put it in hand tight. You know, not cranked or anything. I'm not sure what makes this thing work, but somehow when you tighten this nut, it locks the column down. So I screwed up already. The next thing is this ring goes on. If you look at the back, it's got a cutout in the bottom, which I believe indexes to this pin. That is your, lock, unlock, travel. So the wheel's unlocked, so ultimately it's going to stay there, but for now I'll just let it sit where it wants to sit. And then you put the weird screw in. And then 2 little screws lock it down. I'll show you. So this thing goes in hand tight. You see it only goes as far as that pin will let it go. So put it in hand tight. It's a little boogery, as they say in Missouri, but okay, so that's it. That's in. Now I had made myself some marks to indicate where everything goes. And when I wash this out in the sink, I wash the marks off. Never said I was a genius, just that I'm a higher functioning moron, I guess, but so be it. So I gave that thing a little turn with the screwdriver. Like I said, when it came out, I swear it was finger tight, but my instincts say to snug everything up. So let's see what happens now. Now this thing goes on. I think that's just an adapter to put the cap on. This thing goes over this. It must grab a spoke like that, I guess, because it's got a little clip on the back. It goes in the back of this thing. I don't know if there's a relationship between this clip and this thing or what. I'll have to figure that one out off camera. So give me a minute to dope this one out and see what happens. Okay, it's starting to make a little bit of sense. So what you do is you put this thing on, you tighten the screw, and then you back it off until whatever 2 holes you want to use for the little baby Phillips screws to hold it locked in place go. I was using the ones that appeared to be threaded already, so I just turned it till they clocked in. And as you see, it's loose, but that tightens up in a minute. So to test this thing, left is unlocked, and then right should lock it. Okay, left is unlocked, right is locked. Okay, so clip goes in. It's a spring-loaded clip. It just clips over that, and then it pushes down. And then when you put the cap, there's a piece that goes on, it'll tighten it right up, I think. I think that's what this is for. So let me do that now and see what. So this piece goes on next. That little spring steel clip goes on that little nub. And then the horn cap goes on these little cutouts. But I just found out they only go on one way. They only go on this way. They are not interchangeable. We try to clock it. Oops. Clock it again. Keep going. That one works. So maybe it goes in one of 2 directions. But these feet also go into holes in the horn contact. So you're limited as to how this thing goes on. So whatever way you want this bow tie emblem to sit. I want to say the white goes in the bottom. That's how it was in the Camaro. So I'm going to go white on the bottom and see how that treats me. And you also have to make sure you put the pin in the right hole, because the other hole is for the screws that hold it on. These long screws. So let me do that and see what happens. So that's just in hand tight. And one thing I just noticed was there's a cut in this upper screw hole area. I bet you that is the index with the bottom blade of the steering wheel, and also the notch in the column to tell you that that's that's up, that's north. So let's see if this cap goes on with the white part down the bottom, like I think it's gonna. Ta-da! Look at that, huh? Wow, I'm almost smart. So, all right, let me tighten these screws, pop the cap on, and call this one done. I went back in there because I didn't like the lock ring being loose like that, like it was. So I clocked it a little more, tightened up that big main screw a little more, put little baby screws back in, snug them up tighter than I had them before, and look at that. No more play. It still works. Unlock, lock, the horn cap pops on, beep, beep, and the white is at the bottom where I believe it should be. So there you go. Not so bad. I was scared of it, a little intimidated, but wasn't so bad. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. So it was on my mind, and it's all fixed. And now this thing is tight. And when I turn the wheel, it'll kick off like it should. And that's it. Boom, all fixed. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this foray into weirdness with me, and hope you learned something. I did. Maybe I'll link that Corvette guy's video down below so you guys can take a look at it and give him his props. So thanks again for joining me, and I will talk to you again soon.